Hi guys, welcome to Learn Tech from Zero. Today we'll be covering further CompTIA Security Plus topic. Today's topic will be CIA Triad, Confidentiality, Integrity, and Availability. That's the full form of CIA, and we'll be starting 1.2. Today we will try to keep it as short as possible. So if you want to read the content in details, you can go to Learn Tech from Zero on, and you can read them in greater details, and at the end you can practice 10 questions to test your knowledge. So I will not go through everything. I have prepared a quick notes for you, so I will just quickly explain you what CIA is. So in cybersecurity, the CIA triad, so triad means these three concepts. So confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This model, if we implement this in an IT work or enterprise level, what this will do is it will keep everything safe in an IT environment. How it will keep everything safe, we will go through the details very shortly. But CIA Triad is the main cybersecurity model, and this is the core model. So model is something that we have in mind, or we implemented in an working environment. So it's nothing physical, it's just a conceptual idea. So if if you're following CIA model, you know that IT enterprise has a safe and secure environment. So what's C? So C is confidentiality. So what it means is there's a way to keep everything confidential. So you can go on the website to practice those methods. But in simple terms, confidentiality is only authorized users can access information. So only people who are authorized to access certain things will be accessible by those users only. So not everyone should have the same access. So this goes into confidentiality. So what are the technologies or the methods that go into the CIC in the CIA triad? So confidentiality is like if you have encryption, so only the person who is the owner of those device or the information will be able to read the information. If it's lost, the other person will not be able to see the information. So the confidentiality is there. Same way access control, like who should get access to what. But this is something that we will keep on covering in later videos, because CompTIA Security Plus is all about going in depth on how to apply security models and security concepts and ideas. So this is what it is. Confidentiality. Integrity is data must remain accurate and unchanged. So integrity means there a data should not be changed. For example, there are ways, if a data has been manipulated, or if any information has been changed, there are ways you can find it. So we use digital or those technologies like hashing, checksums, digital signatures. I will cover them later um, in the course. But if you go onto the website, you should be able to get everything in details. All right. So integrity is the data must remain accurate. So if there has been any changes in any data, we should know. We should be able to find out if there has been any changes. So integrity should be there. Availability, the systems and data must be accessible when needed. So availability, there should always the data or the systems should always be there when we need it. So that's the availability. If there is any problem, there should be a backup so that we still have the availability. If there is a fault, it should be able to tolerate certain fault level. So this is something you can find on the website in greater detail. So this is what it is. So CIA is the core concept for cybersecurity. The CIA is confidentiality. C stands for confidentiality. Only the authorized people should be able to access the information. Integrity, data must not get changed, or it should remain accurate. So if there is any change, we should be able to tell that this data is not legit, there has been some changes. Availability is we should be able to access data whenever we need, and there are ways to keep the data accessible. So these are the three um, um, model for cybersecurity which keep an enterprise safe and compliant. All right, so if you just go through, so you can go onto the website and you can read them in details. So everything is there, like for example confidentiality, how does encryption, access control, authentication and authorization, this sort of thing works. You don't need to be an expert in CIA Triad, you just need to know how, you just need to know what falls under CIA. So what falls under confidentiality, integrity and availability. So we will practice them now with the multiple choice questions. All right, the first question is, so we will just try a few questions, so we will not go into details. So which part of the CIA triad ensures that sensitive data is only accessed by authorized individual? So confidentiality, integrity and availability, which one of them covers that sensitive data is only accessed by authorized individuals? So it's not integrity, we are not talking about any changes or the data must remain accurate. It's not availability, because we are talking about sensitive data should be only authorized by certain users. So authentication is not in CIA triad. Okay, so confidentiality, integrity and availability, so if it's not integrity and availability, it's confidentiality, who should get access to what. So we are talking about sensitive data is only accessed by authorized individuals, only certain authorized people should be able to access it. So it's the C of the CIA triad, which is the confidentiality. Let's try it. It's correct. All right, the next one is, which of the following mechanisms is primarily used to protect confidentiality of data in transit? So when data in transit, what it means is when data is flowing through one place to another. So which of the following mechanism is primarily used to protect confidentiality? So so we are talking, right now we are talking about a mechanism, a way to protect confidential data. So how do we protect confidential data? We don't protect it by redundancy, backup. These are different methods, but there is a way to protect confidential data is by encrypting it. So encryption, so hashing is for integrity, so that if anything has been changed with hashing mechanism, you should be able to find out how this if the information has been changed. Like for example, if you have a message and then there will be one hashing for that message, if there is a change in that message, the hashing will change. So with the hashing, you should be able to find out if the data has been changed or not. So we will cover the hashing later on. Encryption is like when we when we change the secure information or private information or sensitive information, when we make it unreadable. That's what we call encryption. It just gives you like random data that you will not be able to read. So we normally use encryption method for data in transit. So for example, SSL TLS method for using public internet to access information from the browser. That's an encryption method, SSL and TLS. So it's an encryption. So it changes the data, sensitive data, it makes it unreadable. So it's the answer should be encryption. It's correct. All right. The third one is, a company uses file permissions to limit access to HR data based on user roles. Which CIA principle is being applied? So a company uses file permissions to limit access. So there is a file and they're using permission to limit access to that file. So it's nothing to do with changing of data. It's nothing to do with availability, because if there is any problem, if there is any loss of data, there we are not talking about backup. So redundancy is not a part of CIA triad, so it has to go with confidentiality. Is correct. Let's try two more questions. What is the main goal of integrity within the CIA Triad? So integrity means if anything is something should not be changed, and if anything is changed, we should be able to recognize it. So integrity means the the actual data remain unchanged. So it should be the to ensure data remains accurate and unaltered. So accurate, correct, and unaltered, not changed. So not nothing to do with unauthorized access or these. So we are talking about integrity. So it has to be number one. All right, correct. Which of the following best protects data integrity during transmission? So data integrity is it's not encryption. We are talking about not hiding sensitive information. So the previous question number 3 was about hiding sensitive information. So we changed the sensitive information to unreadable message. So it's not encryption, it's not load balancing. This is something to do with network traffic. VPN tunneling is another concept. So it's not that. So if you go through the theory, you will find out more about hashing and encryption. So it is hashing. So how does hashing works is basically you have you have a hashing for one piece of information, and the same piece of information will always generate the same hashing. So if there has been a change in the information, let's say if there is an extra dot, if there is an extra number, or if there is an extra letter, it will change the hashing. So we are talking about how to protect, following the best protect data integrity, so that we can match those data when it's been sent to us and when we received it. So we can actually match that data, that if the data has been manipulated while in the transit, while it was coming to me, if any hacker tried to read the data and try to manipulate it and then send it to me, we can check it with the mechanism called hashing. So it has to be hashing, not encryption. Encryption is when you, even the hacker can get the information, but they will not be able to read it. That's what we call encryption. Hashing is to make sure that we are actually receiving the correct data. So it has to be hashing. All right. So we have answered 5 out of 5. So we'll keep it. We'll finish it for now. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I will get back to you. And thanks for your time, and I will see you soon.